Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, going to be a Master ZVT sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. It's going to be Coffee versus KoiCarp on Glittering Ashes. Top right, we've got Coffee. Bottom left, we have KoiCarp, which is fun to say. I like saying KoiCarp quite a bit. I know I messed it up, but it's still fun to say. Alright, man, so a ZVT here at the Masters level. I do like Masters games because they know how to play, they have excellent macro and excellent micro, but they're a little bit more or less standard than professional matches. You kind of see weird stuff in Masters games at a very high level. So, ka-chow. Barracks coming up. Nothing crazy whatsoever. Cleaning bot, desperately trying to clear this creep with his little cleaning brushes. Good luck, man. That is... it's got to be demoralizing. 16 hatches, Coffee, and then 18-17 on the other side of it. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Also, feel free to support the support the channel either at patreon.com/FalconPaladin, or else you can click the join button down below and become a member of the channel. Your name is very special in the comments. You get a little logo next to it. You have access to additional emojis when you're leaving comments, which is super fun too. So yeah, just click the join button. It is, I think, country dependent, but US, Canada, England, you know, the countries that are generally supporting me are on there. I think Germany as well as another big country that watches the Falcon Paladin channel. And is it a Reaper? It is. So it's a Reaper opening here. Nothing too nuts yet. Again, standard opening. Nothing crazy, but it will get crazy later. Masters level players don't send me games that are dumb or bad or, you know, extraordinarily standard. So we'll see what we get here. The SCV doing the right thing, checking to see was this a 12 pool or not by the timing of this hatchery. If the hatchery is done when you get here, the answer is no, it was not a 12 pool. So Reaper, you have your orders, move out. Reaper's name is Youngster Joey. This Pokemon trainer's phone calls were the bane of many Pokemon Silver and Gold players, until one day, Joey managed to get hold of Emperor Menk's private number. Rather than change his number or block the annoying Rattata-loving trainer, Emperor Menk signed Joey up for the Reaper program. Joey's Rattata may be in the top percentile of Rattatas, but time will only tell if his skills as a Reaper are also as top-notch. Well, poor Joey. He's the American kid, right? In Pokemon, like super Brooklyn accent. I've watched a little bit of Pokemon with my kids, and I'm pretty sure I remember who Joey is. He's funny. He's got really just a broad Brooklyn, New York style accent. Which, you know, that is something you have to keep in mind. If you're talking about a country as big as the US, or even, you know, like Japan, or Brazil's huge, or even England, which isn't that big, in different regions, there's different accents. So maybe you learn one particular type of English, but then you go to a part of the country where you can't understand the people in the U.S. because you're in Louisiana, right? And they speak with an entirely different accent, and it is very hard for you to decipher. Very, very possible. I like Glittering Ashes because it teases you with all of these gold minerals, and there are no gold mineral bases on the map at all. Look at this. They're just turning these gold minerals into lava. No, let us have them. Let us use them to build tanks and marines and stuff, says KoiCarp. But no, not allowed. It's a very weird map that way. Ooh, he's actually got a kill. He's forcing a sport. Ah, Queen killed him. Sorry, Youngster Joey. You did pretty well for yourself, man, but it wasn't enough. And that's fine. There's no shame in that. Overlord positioning pretty good. I like it. If any attacks come in from these directions, especially with Hellions, he'll see them coming, and there's not anything that KoiCarp can do about it because, you know, can't shoot up with Hellions. Banshee on the way from KoiCarp. Overlord coming in for the scout. Marine positioning pretty good to stop this from happening to some extent, but he sees everything. It is too late, mother. I have seen everything. It's a great comic. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put a link to it in the description, but whoosh, whoosh. YOLO! Hellions! They're here to die. And by that I mean, two of them actually escape. And by that I mean, one of them actually escapes. And by that I mean, 0 of them escape. Never mind. They were YOLO Hellions of a different variety, where they actually make it off the creep before they die, which shouldn't really happen. But again, it's Masters. This isn't Mario versus Rogue. This is Coffee versus KoiCarp. Baneling Nest coming in at about 5 minutes. It's a bit of an early Baneling Nest in this matchup. But, you know, having Banelings against Terran, it just feels good. It just makes you feel like you can handle anything they're throwing at you. And then you send your Baneling to go kill some annoying Marines, and there's one Widow Mine here, and all of your Banelings die, and then the Marines A-move and you lose. So then you're like, Banelings suck. Why are Widow Mines so good? And you grumble about it a lot. That's exactly what happens. Anywho, Cloak Banshee trying to get some stuff done, but Spore up, and Spore up. Having safety spores at around 4.5 minutes, 5 minutes or so. It's a good time to deal with Cloak Banshees in this matchup. What is the Terran up to? Anything crazy? He's reactoring the starport for medevacs. He's got additional barracks coming up here. He's working on that stim upgrade. He is getting a siege tank. So something of a push around, 7 to 9 to 10 minutes is when you want to try to kill a Zerg player. If you wait until they've got 4 to 5 to 6 bases, you're just going to have a bad time. And this is a 4th base from Coffee coming up. KoiCarp's 3rd is landing, which is good. That's a pretty good timing for him, considering the aggression that he put on Coffee. Slowed him down a bit. It's a lot of workers from Coffee. He's got 26 workers on this one base, which is oversaturated. He needs to do a bit of a Maynard transfer over here to this 4th. That is not Maynard the Australian caster. That is Maynard the American player from Brood War from back in the year 2000. Came up with the concept of you take your workers from the main base and oversaturate it while your 2nd base is coming up, and then when the 2nd base pops, you take a bunch of those workers and drag them down to the natural and saturate it immediately. It's a good time. 4th base from Coffee. Doing what it's doing. Banshee's not doing much. I think we got one kill each, which is like, 3 drones have died in the first 7 minutes, and that's fine for a Zerg player. They're not going to complain about that one at all. It is a Hydralisk Den, which indicates to me that we're going to see some lurker play from Coffee here. Nice snipe on that creep tumor. No spores over here. There's one coming up, but it's not done yet. So we're just going to try to kill some of the... to force them to turn into spores temporarily anyway. But an Overseer wanders around. Yeah, I think KoiCarp needs to go for an attack fairly soon. He's got a good number of Marines. There you go. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. This is the timing. This is when you need to get stuff done. I'm going to head up this left side, take a hard right. The Banshees are maybe going to try to attack somebody while this is happening. So there's distractions involved. Pretty cool animation, Marines unloading from medevacs. I like it a lot. The Banshees need to move on into the main base. Like, the Overseers and Queens are down here, but there's nothing in the main to stop them from wandering in except for a Queen, which they can kill. They can do that. This little group, did they get spotted? They might have got a little bit too close over here and got spotted, because these Lings are interested in murdering everyone. There's enough of them, too. That is a lot. They don't have any upgrades whatsoever, but there are a bunch of them. There are 22. These Banshees are still hanging out over here. Just biding their time, I guess. That's what they're into. So 3 base versus 4 base. Hellions roll in, die. This group, pick them up, pick them up. Beautiful pickup there from KoiCarp. Excellent pickup from Le KoiCarp. Lurker Den about to finish here from Coffee, and that's going to be a big game changer here. Lurkers are very, very frustrating to deal with if you're a Terran player. If you have a lot of Marauders and a nice concave, you can take them down pretty easily. Siege tanks do very well too. Liberator is not a bad answer while you're at it. But if you just have the Marines, you just kind of like balling Marines up, Lurkers will chew through them pretty easily. And Marauders too. If Marauders are all balled up, they don't have a good time versus Lurkers either. Okay, the 1/1 Lings are just kind of here to wreck stuff and take names. Wait, no, you could have got those tanks. No, what'd you run in there? Decision making. The decision-making was a little problematic. I think the Lings should have taken these tanks down, killed as many SCVs as they could, and then run, instead of running into the natural base where there were Marines waiting for them. And a lot of Lings died there, man. That is 91 Lings down. That counterattack could have been a lot better from Coffee, but he's alive. You know, if you lose stuff on an attack, it's not nearly as bad as wasting units on defense. Like I said, if you just lose about 8 Banelings to a Widow Mine when you're defending, you just kind of lose the game. Or if you lose 100 Zerglings when you're defending, you just kind of lose the game. Man, these Lings are everywhere. They got the 1-1 upgrades. More Lings are in production. He's just going all the Zerglings. Goodness. The Hydras are out, but I don't think the plan is to have Hydras here, unless you want to take down the Medivacs, which, in that case, Hydras are amazing at taking down Medivacs. Especially if they have the range upgrade, which they don't. They will. Aspire, too. And Lurkers. Unloading single Marines into this group is a beautiful play. KoiCarp has been watching professional StarCraft. He knows what's up. If you can force a Baneling to explode on a single Marine, that's a great trade for the Terran. They'll take that every day of the week. It reduces your Baneling count and only loses you 1 Marine at a time. It's beautiful. However, it's 200 supply for Coffee and 165 supply for KoiCarp right now, so this attack coming in could be a problem. This group needs to be picked up. They're not, because I don't know where the attention... some of them got picked up. The attention may have been elsewhere for a moment. He is working on Cloak for Ghost, getting Enhanced Shockwave 2. That's queued up. And producing Ghost 2. Adrenal Glands. Oh, we're seeing Adrenal Glands, which is so good, because you have 70 Zerglings right now. They'd all benefit immensely from Adrenal Glands. Some of them are not ever going to get it, because they're going to die before that thing finishes, but still, it's a good upgrade to get. Banelings ready. Pick them up, pick them up. Oh, they got a Baneling. That's nice. Look at him chasing these Banelings around. That's why we're making... Oh, yeah. Zerglings fight them. Oh, all right. I like putting up Spores and Binds around. If you've got a bunch of money as a Zerg player and you're maxed out, by all means, throw up some static defense at your bases. The pros don't do it because they don't need it. You do. You're going to need it. If you're a Diamond level player, Platinum level player, Masters level player, I guess GMs can probably get away with it not doing it. But, like... The creep spread. The creep spread is good, but having static defense up here too. Really important stuff. So KoiCarp is just kind of sitting back, and he's maxed out now too, which can be pretty scary for a Zerg player. He doesn't like going up against a maxed out Terran army. Especially if there's ghosts involved, which there are. So we'll see if Coffee decides to get any Vipers or Infestors, or if he's just more of a make a lot of attacking units and go style Zerg, which, you know what, I can respect. I'm on board with that style of play for sure. KoiCarp landing another base. I mean, that is his 5th. So he's feeling pretty good. There's only 5 bases from the Zerg. Actually, a 6th just popped down this right side. So he does have a bit of an advantage here, but not as much as he wants. These Lings have Adrenal Glands. No. They attack so fast when they have Adrenal Glands. Going for nukes too. Yes, the nukes. The nukes. We're all here for the nukes. Nukes are... Oh, we got some Vipers out. I'm a huge liar. Look at us making spellcasters, everyone. Oh, run. Yeah. You're heavily outnumbered in this position. Chasing further seems like a tough idea, because there are siege tanks there. But Lurker's getting some spines down. Tank tossed an EMP. Oh yeah, caught those Vipers with those EMPs. Very nicely done. Tank's actually killing some of these Lurkers. The snipe ability doing very well too. Oh yeah, killing a few of those Banes. Beautiful stuff here from KoiCarp. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Banelings rolling in. There's a sensor tower. So the response could be something here, and it is. By that I mean, some Marines died. So not the greatest. Not the greatest of responses. I'm just going to say it, which is totally fine. Zerglings getting us around all those ghosts would be amazing, but there's Medivacs here for that very reason. Look how fast tanks die to Adrenal Gland Zerglings. Oof. Brutal stuff here. Coffee's down to 171 supplies at 5,000 minerals and 4,000 gas. So his ability to macro has not been super duper hot today. He's making 30 Zerglings, which is great. They got 2-2. Working on 3-3 would be amazing, but look who snuck up to the 12 o'clock and is ripping through this 4th base of Coffee. 3rd base, I don't know, whatever it is. They take the hatch down. The Lings respond, but it is way too late. Coffee needs to replace this instantly, and he is, and maybe even expand up here while he's at it, because he's got 5,000 minerals, and now he's finally maxed out with Hydralisks and more Zerglings being produced. 3-3 would be so good for Coffee. It would be so good for Coffee to have that. I like the pulsing that the banelings do when they're just sitting, which they're not doing much of here because... What's with the rearrange? Why are they constantly... They're like constantly shuffling around. Is that just the AI trying to find the most optimal position to sit here? There we go. These guys are all sitting here, pulsing. And then more Hydras coming in after reshuffle. But Lurker's going to head down this way, and actually the rest of the army's coming too. So Lurkers burrow in, unsupported though. There are the ghosts around, so the Lurkers back the heck on out, back to the safety of the creep. The relatively safe creep anyway. Killing these rocks would be amazing, but all you gotta do is attack them with these Lurkers for like 10 seconds, man. Is it even 10 seconds? Killing rocks is always good for you, Zerg player. It gives you additional attack avenues. Terran don't like to have rocks open. They'd rather everything be funneled through little choke areas like this rather than dealing with larger attack paths like this. Or this. Yeah? Yes. Parasitic Bomb gets tossed down. Ling's chasing against Marines is never good. I don't know about this position from the Zerg player, but he's getting through the wall. He breaks through the great wall of supply depots. Abducts a tank in. Blinding Cloud on those Marines is pretty fantastic. Lurker Spine's getting in. A couple SCVs do end up dying there. Only 4 have died in this game, so it's nothing major. Zergling's getting in on top of these ghosts, and where are the rest of the ghosts? They're back here behind the siege tanks. Siege tanks are firing on these Lurkers, man. Sure, they're going to get a factory. Great. Are they actually going to be able to take... Why are there SCVs up here? Why are there SCVs over here? He's freeing up supply by killing his own SCVs, I think. The ghost came around the left side, found the Lurkers, took them down. So neither of the Ghost Academies died, which is nice. We do have 2 nukes in the bank. In the bag right now. Using them would be amazing. Coffee did expand to this low ground, which is good for him. The SCVs are fighting. They just want to die, man. And the Zerglings acquiesce to their request. Finally, +3 is coming in. +3/+3 for the Lings is on the way. 3/3 finishing up here from KoiCarp 2. KoiCarp working on more ghost production, which is exactly what you need. A lot of bases have not been taken on this map, which is just fine. It is absolutely just fine. Nukes! Double nuke attempt. So he finds this one. Does he find this one? And the answer is no, but there are about maybe 10 drones here. And how many will die? Let's find out real quick. Oh, okay. Wow, close, more than that. Like 13 or so went down if my quick maths is enough. And I'm not convinced that it is. The ghost manages to make it out. Hoofing, hoofing, hoofing. I love this run animation that they do. Like, it's more of a speed walk than a run necessarily, but they're fast. They're fast enough, Ghost Star. They're doing just fine, thanks. Yeah, look at him. He's no more nukes up here. I'm going to put my whole army up this way. Thank you very much. 3 more nukes on the way. The nuke plays today. Million changelings. These would be dead if this was Morrow, but it's KoiCarp instead of Morrow, and that's fine. It is fine that it's KoiCarp. But man, fully upgraded cracklings are just something to deal with if you're a small group of Marines like this. Even these ghosts are going to have a bad time with it. Yeah, these guys need to run. Coffee needs to learn the skill of running past the Marines and surrounding them instead of kind of nibbling on their bums as they're running away from him. Just a thought. It is 70 workers for Coffee, which is fine. 70 is a good number to have. He's got the bank, obviously, so being able to remax is going to be fine for him, too. He's got 26 larvae, which you don't actually need to be injecting all that much once you start getting on to about 8 hatcheries. Abducting ghosts is good. But man, the snipes are faster than the abducts are, and there are more ghosts than Vipers for sure. Right side nuke attempt. Oh, double right side nuke attempt, KoiCarp. KoiCarp. Doing the good stuff here. So that nuke lands. This nuke lands. Doing some injury to his own self. More drones end up dying here. 23 drones have died. It's not a huge number. but it is a non-zero number of stuff killed here today. This nuke landing would be pretty nice as well, actually. And it is, because this ghost dies. Oh, no way! That has got to be the closest I've ever seen a nuke not land before. That was... So it was right on the edge of landing or not landing, and that ghost got killed. Insane. Another nuke attempt. I'm pretty sure this is visible. Yeah, because that spore vision is catching that dude. Sorry, man. You're super dead. And again, no one's trying to expand to these super far-reaching expansions. Just kidding. Coffee totally is. Yeah, Glittering Ashes, fun map. We're turning into super long macro style here. Suddenly, your attempt to build command centers is not working out. Suddenly, your ghost getting surrounded by lings. Trying to take down those ghosts, but good microcontrol, getting them out of there. More nukes are in production. And Coffee's taken some hits, but he's, again, 70 drones, a fine number to be at. He replaces the drones when they die with his 6,000 mineral bank and says, what you got? What else you got, KoiCarp? Like, I know koi and carp are two types of fish. I've just never seen them together before, and they do tend to flow well, KoiCarp. So I don't know who sent this in. I mean, usually sending in games with nukes is a lot of fun. Odds are the Terran player sent this in because they're proud of their nukes, but, you know, a Zerg player winning against a Terran who's making nukes is also a pretty fun thing to do. If I was a Zerg player who got nuked and won, I'd feel pretty proud of it. Those banelings did not help take down that planetary at all. That would have been really nice for them. Is there there's a Nidus coming up. I'm fairly sure KoiCarp does not see this. It's like nukes are better at lower league games and Niduses are better at lower league games because the map awareness and vision is just not as much a thing the lower you get from, you know, professional. So a lot of production forced to lift off. That's going to slow down the marine production quite heavily. The ghosts are going to show up to save the day because they're cloaked. And there's not an overseer here. Oh my gosh. Alright, so dude, you gotta bring an overseer with you if you're gonna do this. Because otherwise, all your lurkers are just going to die. Wait, what's attack? Some of them were attacking. I don't know. Zerglings running down from the north here. Coffee's making 70 lings to replace his losses here. Good blinding cloud on those two siege tanks. Hydra's attacking command centers, which is not really the priority target here. Tank down, another tank down. Another command center is going to die just by sheer fact of the fact that it's burning down. I'm not sure KoiCarp has the attention to repair it, although maybe he does. We'll take a look at that. We'll watch it. 30, and the SCVs do come into repair. Excellent. So Coffee, another base. He is at 156 supply with 5,000 minerals and 6,000 gas, and only 9 larvae, which is kind of the larger problem here. Maybe he does need to be injecting on this many bases if he wants to remax. Okay, this time it's a Ling Nidus that rolls out. Did they ever kill this Nidus worm? Is that the same one? That very well could be the same one, actually. But there are enough Marines and Marauders and Ghosts here to handle this. This was not exactly a concerted effort of all the Lings in the world to take this down, but I like having the Nidus in the base. It'll be here for about 2 seconds, and it is going to die. I love how the Niduses, they just die so dramatically. They're like, thump. Coffee's taking another base. He's maxed out again because of course he is. He's a Zerg player with a bank. And Planetary Fortress absorbing some hits before the normal one comes up. It looks like it's blinding clouded, but it's attacking. So I don't know. It shouldn't be able to, but I think it's going to die based on the fact that there's nothing to save it. Lings and Hydras are just butchering it from distance right there. And bam, a base down. KoiCarp maybe in a spot of trouble right now. Hydras and Banelings coming in, trying to deal with these ghosts, but they're very smart. They don't stand in and fight. They back out of the situation, and as you're retreating, they snipe you in the butt from distance. That's exactly what you want to do. Trying to abduct some of these ghosts in. Very nicely done, but there's too much Terran here, and Coffee is forced to back on out. He doesn't like what he sees. 62 Lings on the way from Coffee, trying to remax again on Zerglings, which, okay. Panic Lings, I understand this. And an attack up the left side. KoiCarp, I don't know if you knew about this base before this moment, but guess what? His army's in the general neighborhood. So, hey, let's do this thing. I think KoiCarp might just be on a bit of a rampage right now. These, no, panic-ling, save the base that's already dead, save it! All right, so the traditional army dies, but the ghosts... Okay, some of them going down to the banelings here. 44 more panic-lings in production. Army values 123 to 48, though. KoiCarp from the south is ready and willing to push this thing further. 10 more banelings coming in here from Coffee. He doesn't have the larva to remax on this many Zerglings is the thing. Those are really cheap. If he was making Ultras, it'd be a different story. But again, Ultras struggle against Snipe as well. These ghosts are really key to Terrans in late game defeating the Zerg opponent. The Zerg menace, if you will. Okay, that was a win for Coffee. If he's going to win this thing, it's going to be stuff like that. It's going to be stuff like finding smaller groups of ghosts out in the open, surrounding them and killing them. It's not going to be dealing with the larger bulk of ghosts on the map right now, there actually are only 14 of them. So, this is turning into a pretty intense match. Coffee's back up to 170 supply. He's replacing some of the drones that he's lost, or maybe used for static defense, whatever. He's got Vipers, he's got the Lings, he's got the Banelings. It's Hydra, Ling, Baneling, Viper. He's kind of given up on the Lurkers, I feel like, which is maybe not a terrible idea because there are a lot of tanks and there are a lot of ghosts, and both those things are really good against the Lurkers and less good against 100 million Zerglings, actually. With the Banelings in here, too. Hydras from distance getting some really nice hits off. Overseers are in the mix right now, and Coffee makes a beautiful, disgustingly good counterattack. Army value is 96 to 77, sure. Widowmine does get a shot off there, but Medivacs die into the Hydralisks. There were a lot of ghosts in that Medivac. There are 0 ghosts on the field right now. And Coffee with the incredible counterattack here. He was looking dead in the water, and he just evened this game up. He is not going to be able to win this thing. He doesn't have a ton of army right now either, being only at 76 army supply. But he's feeling better. He's taking that top left. This bottom right is his as well. He's kind of out expanding this Terran like crazy. More Lings coming in, but against a planetary tank setup, just why are you attacking here? Go after a mining base. This thing is dead. Go take this down again. I know there's a handful of tanks, but 2 blinding clouds will cover every one of those tanks and probably the planetary as well. So honestly, I would push up and around and come. Yes, there we go. Up and around. Maybe he's doing that. Come back down the other way. I'm really shocked he hasn't killed these rocks yet, this debris. It's a bit of a surprising twist to me. Okay, he knows what this is though, right? Like he's... Please don't run in there without blinding clouding first. Ow, 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 ow. Yeah. Okay, well that's what he did. Blinding cloud there. Blinding cloud there. Blinding cloud on the planetary. Okay, this is what I was talking about. This is what we need to be doing here. But then the rest of the army shows up, and it's a little bit too late. He had a window to pull that off, and he didn't do it. Another Nidus Worm on the way. This game might just get an epic tag. This has been really, really good master level stuff. Like I said, the back and forth, the mistakes. Be a little bit of unorthodox play, but I don't know. These Lurkers are pretty standard, as all things are here. Does he bring an Overseer this time so the Ghost can't just murder all of these Lurkers? No. He did not learn. He did not learn to bring Overseers with him this time. I don't know. Sure, supply blocking your opponent is nice. Going after engineering bays is not as hot at this point because all the upgrades are done. And no Overseers means the Ghost can pretty much with impunity just wander in here and kill every one of your Lurkers, which this is the second time we've tried this. 56 Lurkers have died today. 44 Ghosts. Oh, hang on. Lurker comes out, causing some problems. Thunk. 176 to 174 supply at 29 minutes. Both players are doing pretty well. I mean, the ghost, remember when the ghost count was 0, and we're all the way up to 12 now. KoiCarp is doing just a really good job with this. Okay, he recognizes this is the income that he has. Attacking into a established base. He doesn't have any SCVs at this base. How did that happen? Big blinding clouds! Big blinding clouds here. Tanks are going down. Tank down, take down, take down, take down. But not enough. Blinding cloud wears off. You gotta back out of there. This has been a really, really good game. The back and forth on both players. Huge amounts of resources lost on both sides. Coffee's lost 66,000 resources. And 47,000 lost for KoiCarp here. This base is going to die again for the second time today. Because, once again, Coffee can't remax fat. Ooh, he doesn't have any minerals is the big problem. Okay, bank gone. Lings, Banes trying to defend this, but I don't think there's enough Zerg to do it. But more Lings and Hydras are kind of rolling in here, and I can't see what's under the medevacs right now. Standing in, Banelings trying to get as many connections as they can. There's not a lot of Terran right now here. But the Lings with the Adrenal against smaller groups of Marauders, but the tanks coming up the left side here too. 34 Lings in production. This hatch is going to die again. How many hatches killed today? 3. This will be the 4th. There's no income for KoiCarp. He's got these mineral patches, and that's it right now. He's in trouble economically, but if he can make a rampage work here, just kind of keep it rolling and win that way, that is one way to make this thing happen. Because look, Coffee's got this, and Coffee's got this, and Lazio doesn't have that, and he has this. So he's got basically 3 bases here. He could send some drones down this way. Oh, picking off reinforcements as they try to join the front. That's such a good move. Spines getting some extra hits off, but they're so bad against 3-3 Marines. And Marauders here. Lings, Blinding Cloud again. Really good spellcasting off of both of these players today. The Hydras need to be involved in this battle. They're not really doing it, withstanding the defensive attack. Here is KoiCarp, 106 to 106 supply, but he's got double the army supply right now. Again, it's not a massive Terran army. He can't really sustain that right now, but the Zerg can't sustain a massive Zerg army either. A single barracks floating through Zergland is going to die to Spores and Queens, which is not something you see every day. Trying to bring some drones down to, once again, the bases that are not really saturated. Like this one. This is not fully saturated. You have some drones. I guess you don't anymore. This is insane. This is a pretty nuts match, all in all. Hydras, Lings, Banes, just getting more done here than I think they should be able to do. Banelings finally connecting. Lings jumping on top of these Ghosts. Banelings getting some decent connects as well. Ghosts really keeping KoiCarp alive right now. This base being incredibly oversaturated and this base being undersaturated is causing me some issues, but it is... it is definitely a stressful situation. I understand what Coffee is doing. Ooh, look at this. KoiCarp is taking this base on the left-hand side, about the 10 o'clock position. He is mining it for all of his dear life right now, and it's helping him have the income he needs to produce Marines and Ghosts to win this game. This is nuts. This is an absolutely disgustingly good match so far. Zergling's trying to... This one source of income is really important to him. He doesn't have enough Lings to save it. Lings trickling in 2 or 3 at a time. Not gonna happen. And another hatchery's gonna die. It's not an overwhelming Terran army, but Coffee doesn't have enough. More drones getting picked off here. The drone massacre is for real. Oh, man. It is 73 drones killed. Coffee has 35 workers left, and effectively kind of 2-ish bases mining at the moment. And now KoiCarp is on a rampage. He is just coming through, clear and creep. The army supply is just not enough from Coffee to do this thing. He's down 30. He's got more Banelings. He's got more Hydras. He's got more Lings. KoiCarp's not even really... I guess he's splitting. I think that might be it. Unless this army gets wiped out, which it wasn't wiped out. Coffee making 20 more Zerglings to try to handle this thing, but he's down big time. This source of income for Coffee is insanely important, and I think he's just gonna lose it here. Ghosts sniping every one of these Hydralisks as they can. Is there enough to hold on for Coffee? The answer seems to be no. But it's not like KoiCarp has a massive amount of units here either. He's got some Cloak Ghosts, but I think the Spores are revealing them. The Barracks is over here messing with our vision of what's going on here. KoiCarp's army supply is down to 37, but Coffee's is at 22. Ling's just cruising, trying to kill as many Marines as they can. It's an absolute bloodbath. Spines coming in to try to save this hatchery. It's only 19 drones for Coffee right now. They do finish off the hatch before the Spines can burrow these ghosts. Oh, getting picked up by KoiCarp. The pick-up micro today. It's been insane. That's it. I think that might just be it, ladies and gentlemen. 89 to 40 total supply. 10 Lings in production from Coffee. His ability to recreate reinforcements has not been happening. He finally has this base oversaturated, but its only source of income, and look at this. KoiCarp there, KoiCarp there, KoiCarp there. KoiCarp has brought his economy back from the dead. Back from the dead, ladies and gentlemen. One of the more impressive displays today. I don't want to caster curse this thing. I mean, look, Coffee's got 6 Zerglings because he's fighting up this way. The Queens are trying to do this thing against 3 Marines, though. The transfuses are really good. Like, Coffee is holding as well as to be expected, considering he doesn't have much. But then the ghosts come in, and that's your GG Carp. KoiCarp is your winner in 36 minutes. Woo-wee. That was absolutely incredible. That was a 6 ZVT master level. Thank you for sending that in. I believe Random Hyper One alerted me to the presence of this game. It's not his game, but it is. I don't know where he got it. Someone shared it somewheres, but wow. 90,000 resources lost for Coffee is a huge number. 62,000 for KoiCarp is huge, but it pales in comparison to what Coffee lost here today. This is crazy pants. 89 drones, 7 hatcheries, 58 lurkers. I do think those lurker attacks into the main base of KoiCarp go a lot better if he just brings like 4 overseers with him. I can't believe he didn't learn from the first time and not do it. 1,200 Zerglings died. Got the 4 digits, which is always good to see in these games. 57 ghosts went down, 240 Marines, 42 Marauders, 2 planetaries, 2 orbitals, 3 command centers. So many bases died here today. Not even that many Widow Mines. It was really largely just ghosts that did what they needed to do here today for KoiCarp. The nukes were really good too. They really slowed the Zerg player down quite a bit. Just beautiful. KoiCarp's economy, again, was dead. Was dead. And he just kickstarted it. He just absolutely kickstarted his economy from nothing. He manages to land an orbital down here. He manages to take this space too. And that gives him the economy that he needs to just have a handful of units. His final attacking force was 27 Marines, 3 Ghosts, 5 Marauders, and 2 tanks. The tanks aren't even here. I think the tanks are just playing a purely defensive role. So, I mean, it wasn't... By that, I mean, I don't know where they are at all. Oh, here they are. Yes, of course. I guess they're helping attack over this way, but that base is dead, so whatever. They're here. They're involved. They've got 6 kills and 0 kills, respectively. Awesome. Just purely awesome. Great match. Tons of fun. And that's going to be it for me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and an epic ZVT today. Wow, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself.